Fala galera, bem-vindo ao canal Cripto. É com muita satisfação que hoje eu vou mostrar o chairman Gary Gensler sendo massacrado pelo Congresso americano. O Gary Gensler não conseguiu responder uma única pergunta. Eles perguntaram se o Ethereum é uma security, um valor mobiliário, e ele nem conseguiu responder. O chairman, Mr. McHenry, começa falando sobre o Ether, falando que ele é um dos assets mais populares de cripto depois do Bitcoin. Logo em seguida, ele fala sobre a discordância entre as lideranças do SEC em relação ao Ethereum. Uns dizem que ele é um valor mobiliário, uma security, enquanto outros dizem que ele é uma commodity. Então, o Mr. McHenry dirige a palavra para Gary Gensler e pergunta se o Ether é um valor mobiliário, uma security, ou uma commodity. E o Gary Gensler fica sem saber o que falar. Olha isso.
Ether is one of the most popular digital assets and powers the Ethereum blockchain. Back in 2018, then SEC Corporation Finance Director Bill Hinman stated that he believed Ether was not a security. Last month, CFTC Chair Benham expressed his view that Ether is a commodity. The State Attorney General of New York asserted in a court filing last month that Ether is a security. Clearly, an asset cannot be both a commodity and a security. Do you agree?
Actually, all securities are commodity under the Commodity and Exchange Act. It's that we are excluded commodities. But I would agree that a security cannot be also an excluded commodity.
Daí, pessoal, o Mr. McHenry diz: se você falou que o Bitcoin é uma commodity, então, de acordo com a lei, eu gostaria de saber se o Ethereum é uma security. E aí, pessoal, novamente o Gary Gensler congela e fica gaguejando. Pessoal, é deprimente ver o comportamento do Gary Gensler.
Is Ether a commodity or a security?
Without speaking to anyone,
I know you've repeatedly said you're not going to speak to one, except you've spoken to one, Bitcoin. So I'm asking you to speak to a second one, the second largest market cap here.
And speaking to the tokens, there's 10 to 12,000. If there's a group of entrepreneurs in the
asking
middle,
about one.
The public is anticipating a profit based on the...
I'm asking you a specific question, Chair Gensler. I said this in private. This should be no shock to you. I'm asking this question. Is Ether a commodity or a security?
And again, it depends on the facts and the law, and if there's a group of individuals...
I'm asking you about the facts and the law sitting in your seat and the judgment you are making.
And so, Mr. Chair, I think you would not want me to prejudge because I'm also...
But you have prejudged on this. You've taken 50 enforcement actions. We're finding out as we go, as you file suit, as people get Wells notices on what is a security in your view, in your agency's view. I'm asking you a very simple question about the second largest digital asset. What is your view?
O Gary Gensler, pessoal, foi criticado por sua falta de clareza regulatória sobre o mercado de criptomoeda. Os congressistas confrontaram o Gary Gensler sobre a sua incapacidade de proteger os consumidores americanos e permitiram que a inovação em criptomoedas fosse para o exterior.
What about Ethereum? Is Ethereum now a security?
We had this
I heard your exchange. They've been in place since 2015. You say in your statements that there's clarity in the market and the rules are clear. Just come on in. You can't even answer the question.
Além disso, pessoal, é fácil você perceber o fracasso de Gary Gensler em fornecer regras regulatórias justas e claras para a indústria de criptomoedas. Uma outra parte também bem legal foi o seguinte, isso aí é para o pessoal que é fã da XRP. O Gary Gensler, ele foi perguntado sobre a XRP e novamente, pessoal, ele não soube o que responder. Ele disse que o julgamento está em andamento, mas também não quis comentar sobre o assunto.
Do you say XRP is a security?
Well, we're in court active discussions and litigation on that matter.
You're in litigation because you do say it's a security.
Tem uma parte do vídeo também, pessoal, onde é abordada as práticas questionáveis de Gensler em coordenar respostas aceitáveis com a senadora Elizabeth Warren e o DNC. É porque a Elizabeth Warren ela já tinha enviado uns questionários prontos para Gary Gensler e eles fizeram somente um teatro.
Chairman Gensler, in advance of today's hearing, did you coordinate acceptable responses with Senator Elizabeth Warren?
No, I'm speaking on my own behalf.
Did you coordinate with Democratic staff? And I ask because it happened before, and I want to be clear whether you operate of your own accord or whether there's some sort of coordinated approach to the damage that you're inflicting on America's capital markets.
I'm here as sitting in my role as chair of the agency, but I speak and I get remarkable support by SEC staff.
Depois também tem uma outra parte onde o congressista Warren Davidson lista e lembra Gensler de suas falhas, abusos de poder, proposta de regras inapropriadas, mandatos de divulgação ESG ilegais, entre outras coisas.
Your record of failures to protect investors and abuses of power make it clear that we need to restructure the Securities and Exchange Commission. The failures are many, but let me cite some of the abuses. You average more than 2 rules proposals a month. You provide inappropriately short comment periods. You have unworkable and unlawful ESG disclosure mandates on the market. You have essentially a Hotel California rule for crypto where you can check in anytime you like, but you can never leave. You have endless discovery with no resolution and no clarity for the captives in the market. You have unworkable proposals for overhauling equity market structure, a de facto ban on crypto through proposed custody rule. You have high staff turnover, unhappy people leaving your office, and unhappy companies and capital leaving our country.
Então, pessoal, com todas essas falhas de Gary Gensler, o senhor Mr. Davidson pede a Gary para resignar o cargo.
To correct a long series of abuses, I'm introducing legislation that removes the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission and replaces the role with an executive director that reports to the board where all authority would reside. Former chairs of the SEC will be ineligible under my proposed bill. And this isn't just my take. It resonates across the political spectrum. The American people want democratic access to capital, retail investor participation. You can't just exclude retail investors from markets and claim it's for their own good. Our markets need to function and flourish, and I yield back.
Para concluir, galera, a maior preocupação de alguns congressistas é o fato das criptomoedas estarem migrando para outros países, como a China e a Inglaterra. Ontem mesmo, o CEO da Coinbase estava na Inglaterra, onde surgiu boatos que a Coinbase poderia deixar os Estados Unidos devido à falta de transparência nas leis regulatórias.
My understanding is that the biggest crypto failure in history is probably FTX at $9 billion. Were you the chairman of the SEC when FTX collapsed?
Yes.
And how many times did you meet with FTX prior to their collapse?
I think my public record shows 2.
You met it with FTX at least twice. And arguably, the second biggest crypto failure in history was Terra Luna. Who was the chairman of the SEC when Terra Luna collapsed, sir?
We had brought...
You were, sir, reclaiming my time. You were. There are 5 members on the commission. Do you believe your speeches and interviews are to serve as the official position of the SEC?
I can only speak for myself when I'm speaking.
Again, sir, in a statement on the SEC website, you are quoted saying, the Kraken staking as a service enforcement action should make clear to the marketplace that staking as a service providers must register. But again, you haven't provided any rules for how that can be done. I must remind you, your public statements are not regulations. It's not responsible to expect the American people to assume your statements are a substitute for rules. Do you agree with this statement regarding the digital asset industry? The SEC needs additional congressional authorities to prevent transactions, products, and platforms from falling between the regulatory cracks.
I think that it's a largely non-compliant field. And
Sir,
we could use
again,
additional
I asked you to comply with my questions, and I'm asking you if you agree with that quote. And I'm going to tell you, I'm quoting you from an August 3rd, 2021 article where you, and I believe you told Congressman Hill earlier that you need congressional authority to regulate stablecoins, and stablecoins happen to be a significant percentage of the crypto market. So the question is, when were you telling the truth? To Mr. Hill or to me? You've got to start answering these questions in a more transparent manner, sir. Does it concern you, by the way, that your approach to the digital asset industry is actually driving this industry out of the United States?
We're trying to drive it to compliance, and if they're not complying with the laws, then they shouldn't be offering their products.
Reclaiming my time. Madam Chair, I would like to enter into the record this Wall Street Journal article from April 14th, 2023, detailing China's ploy to open its banking system to crypto firms in an effort to seize an opportunity created by our hostile regulatory environment, which, Mr. Chair, you're a big part.
Pessoal, é importante ressaltar que a competência e a expertise são fundamentais para o sucesso de qualquer mercado, inclusive o de criptomoedas. Com a saída de Gary Gensler do cargo, devido à sua incompetência, espera-se que o mercado de criptomoedas possa ser liderado por alguém com mais conhecimento e experiência no assunto. Tipo assim, pessoal, é somente uma especulação. A gente ainda não sabe se o Gary Gensler vai ter que deixar o cargo. Mas, se o Gary Gensler deixar o cargo, isso pode contribuir para um desenvolvimento mais seguro e sustentável desse mercado. Além disso, a mudança de liderança pode trazer novas perspectivas e ideias para o setor, o que pode beneficiar os investidores e empresas envolvidas. Então, é isso aí, galera. Vim trazer somente esse vídeo porque não podia assistir sozinho essa derrota do Gary Gensler. Se vocês gostaram das notícias, não esqueça de deixar um like como incentivo pelo nosso trabalho e siga nosso canal para ficar por dentro de notícias, análises e muito mais. Obrigado por assistir o vídeo e até mais.